Welcome back to GameVault HQ. Today, we're diving into the waters of The Big Catch, Tacklebox, a prologue to the upcoming game, The Big Catch. Whether you're a fan of platforming adventures or just enjoy quirky, lighthearted games, there's something in this title that might catch your interest or leave you feeling like the one that got away. The Big Catch Tacklebox isn't just about fishing. Instead, it blends platforming challenges with fishing elements, creating a quirky mix that keeps players on their toes. At first glance, it seems like the kind of game where you can kick back, relax, and reel in a few bites while watching the in-game sunset, but there's actually more beneath the surface here. Let's dive into what makes this game both charming and, at times, a bit frustrating. First off, the visuals are pretty appealing. Think of it like an animated storybook, with vivid colors and beautifully designed environments. It's not hyper-realistic, but it doesn't have to be. The game knows its audience, those who want some laid-back, almost cartoonish fun without the pressure of mastering advanced controls. The environments, ranging from placid lakes to treacherous swamps, are designed in a way that draws you in, with just enough detail to make every spot feel unique. The nostalgic, retro vibe of the art style will resonate particularly well with fans of classic platformers from the late 5th and early 6th console generations. The gameplay, while simple, has a certain charm that's easy to appreciate. You'll start off with a basic rod and a little bait, and the early game teaches you the mechanics through easygoing tasks. Fishing is present, but plays a secondary role to the platforming. Casting your line is simple, and reeling in fish adds a small but satisfying side activity to the main adventure. One of the biggest draws for many players will be the game's humor and charm. There's something almost whimsical about the whole experience, from the NPCs that chat with you at the docks to the different quests they assign. It's a nice mix of goals that range from catch 5 rainbow trout to find the legendary swamp fish, adding just enough variation to keep you interested. The dialogues with these NPCs are often light-hearted and funny. It gives the game a bit of character that keeps you smiling as you navigate the platforming challenges. However, it's important to note that The Big Catch, Tacklebox, places a strong emphasis on platforming, making it more than just a fishing game. It introduces players to platforming elements that add an extra layer of gameplay. Moving around the environments, jumping across small islands, and exploring different areas make it feel more like an adventure game than just a fishing simulator. These platforming challenges can be fun, but they also have moments where the controls feel a bit clunky. The jumping mechanics are not always as responsive as they should be, which can lead to some frustrating moments, especially during more precise platforming sections. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, or perhaps the one at the bottom of the lake. The game can feel repetitive at times. The platforming challenges are engaging, but there's only so much you can do before the lack of variety starts to show. Once you've unlocked the different rods and tried a few baits, the gameplay loop can start to feel a bit samey. This isn't necessarily a deal breaker, especially if you're into chill gaming sessions, but those looking for a deep progression system might find it lacking. The progression system here is basic, involving new rods, better bait, and the ability to tackle more challenging waters. Unlocking new gear feels rewarding for a while, but after a few hours, you start to realize that the game relies heavily on platforming, and the progression can feel repetitive without much new to discover. Another aspect worth mentioning is the soundtrack. The music here fits the vibe of the game perfectly. It's mellow, sometimes even meditative, the kind of background music that doesn't demand too much attention, but adds to the overall feel. You can easily lose yourself in the gentle guitar strums while you're waiting for a fish to bite. It's exactly the kind of music you'd expect to hear if you were lounging by a lake with a line in the water, which adds to the immersive quality of the game. Now, I wish I could say that The Big Catch Tacklebox nailed everything perfectly, but it does have a few more rough spots. There are occasional glitches, like fish getting stuck midair, or lines that seem to extend into infinity before snapping. These bugs aren't game-breaking, but they can take you out of the experience a bit. The developers seem dedicated to patching these issues, but if you're someone who gets easily frustrated by little hiccups, it's worth keeping in mind. Overall, The Big Catch, Tacklebox, is a charming and lighthearted fishing game that does exactly what it sets out to do. It offers a relaxing experience where you can take on platforming challenges at your own pace, soak in the charming environments, and laugh at the silly dialogue. The platforming elements are central to the gameplay, giving it variety beyond just fishing, but they also introduce some frustrations, particularly due to the sometimes inconsistent jumping mechanics. While it might not be the kind of game you play for long marathon sessions, it's perfect for when you need to wind down. For a prologue, it offers a surprising amount of content, which makes it worth exploring even as we wait for the full game to release. The simplicity works both for and against it, great for casual players, but it might leave those seeking depth feeling a bit underwhelmed. We give The Big Catch, Tacklebox a solid 7 out of 10. It's a good time, especially if you're in the mood for a light platforming adventure, but don't expect it to hold your attention for weeks on end. If you've enjoyed this review, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more gaming content. Let us know in the comments if you've played The Big Catch Tacklebox and what your favorite catch has been so far. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.